Hello, welcome to Total Eclipse on the Commodore 64. Now this came out very early, 89 I think. And it's difficult to be objective about these Freescape games. When they came out, if you only had a Commodore 64 and you'd never played an Amiga or anything, then this was the best filled in 3D graphics that you could hope for on the Commodore 64. It being the slow game that it is, the slow system, and all of these 3D games did run rather slow. So here we go. Now, as you can see, the frame rate's not great, but this is not a high-speed action, arcade game. It's a game about mapping and solving puzzles and exploring. So I don't think that the rapid frame rate, is too bad. Once you get used to it, I think, and it does take a bit of getting used to it. I mean, I don't think anybody could just come to it today cold and and play it. I think it'd be too slow for them. But I think back in the day, if you'd played this on a 64 and you only had a 64, I think you get used to it. I know I got used to it. But, so as you can see, the game starts next to a pyramid. In the desert. Now, okay, I found the rank, I'll come back to that. Now, the premise of the game is... I'll do a U-turn here. The premise of the game is that you've landed outside this pyramid in order to try and stop an apocalypse. There's an ancient prophecy that when the moon eclipses the sun, the planet will explode. Now, this is set in about in the 1930s, I think it's set. Possibly in the 20s, I can't remember. But as you see the top right, there's a graphical depiction of the time you have remaining. When the green circle crosses the yellow one, that's basically game. That's game over. So I don't know what it comes to in real time. I think it's about 2 hours of game time. Right, let's enter the pyramid. Now you can see it says Horacte, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it says A, and it says 24C. Now 24C is your height in cubits, and obviously you've got to get to the top of the pyramid, so that the higher you go, the more progress you're sort of making. I've just filled my water up here, as you can probably see it's gone up there. Starting from the left, you've got the time. Now, when you take damage, I'll come back to this actually. You've got the time, you've got your water bottle, you've got your heartbeat or your pulse rate, and you've got a compass. And obviously, most of these are self-explanatory. Your heart rate is that if it goes too fast, you end up having a heart attack, and then it's game over. Now, if it does start to beat quite fast, you can hold in a T key, and what happens is this is you resting. But you lose time as you rest, so or maybe it's the R key. There you go. That's me resting. So you've got to be careful and not lose too much time that way. Right, you pick up these anks that are. You can see I've got at the top left of the screen. I've got one yellow one already. I'll have 2 after I pick this one up. Now these are used as keys in the game. Some screens have some doors have barriers across them, and you can. Use an ank, you can unlock them. But they're a very limited number in the game, and it's probably there's probably another way. If a door's got a barrier on it, it's probably another way into that room. But you normally have to solve a puzzle to get near it. Now you can also your score is represented by the. It says 15,000 at the moment, but it's represented by money. So you've got to find treasure as well to raise your score. So there's a treasure chest. As you can see, the score's gone up. I can do a U-turn here. Now, obviously it's in full 3D, so you can move left, right. You can see there's a barrier blocking that that stairwell there. So if you shoot that barrier, it will disappear. you're armed with a gun with unlimited bullets, so it's not too bad. Now the 3D is quite slow. There's no doubt about that. But when it came out, I think it was okay. I personally don't find it unplayable by any means. Even now, I can still just about play it, I think. Now this has got a welcome break. This title, this is the third of the Freescape games. The first two were Driller and Darkside, which were both science fiction based, and they were based on moons of the same planet. But this title is a complete departure, really. I think it's quite a welcome departure. Although I do like the sci-fi theme of the first games, but you can see there's quite a lot of detail in this room, and it does start to slow down. Well, if you look at the bottle, when I move, there's a little bubble start to appear. That's representing the game getting redrawn. So once it gets to the top, it updates the screen. It's just to show you that the game hasn't crashed. It's still actually updating. So right, you can see there's an eye in this screen. If I just look up. Now, if I shoot that eye, it'll tell me to make the match. So I've got to find another eye, and once I shoot that will solve the puzzle, and it will unlock that door. See, there's a sarcophagus in front of that door. Now there is a way to solve it, but actually, if I just use an ink and go through this barrier, this is upset. There are other ways into this room, but so I've just wasted an ink really, because. But you can see, there's another door in that room. But if I shoot this eye, it'll say match made, and obviously do a U-turn here. It's a bit like the Sentinel. You can do a U-turn to quickly turn around, which is quite a good feature, I think. I think we can shoot that to raise that barrier. Yeah. So the game itself was sort of slightly influenced by Indiana Jones, I believe. As it's set in that sort of time period as well. I mean, I think this is one of the best of the Freescape games. I think it's quite. I just like the setting of it. The puzzles are okay. I mean, they're not awesome puzzles, but they're okay. The setting makes, I think, the atmosphere is good. There's a great feeling of being there, obviously, because it's 3D, but it's slightly shattered by the slow frame rate. But the music helps as well, like it does in all these Freescape games. It really tries to carry the atmosphere for you. So you see, I've gone up the stairwell here, and I'm now on 48 qubits. I think I'm going to shoot this. Shoot this rope. There we go. I think I just shot that platform. Probably means I can't complete the game now, but it doesn't matter. I'll carry on. Now there is a bit where you have to negotiate. It's called what's it called? It's called some illusion level, where it's like a hall of mirrors, and you've got to negotiate that. That can be quite tricky. I thought I could shoot that, but maybe not. Yeah, that can be quite tricky, but that takes you to an outside area where you can see more of the pyramids. Again, this is a locked door. I probably shouldn't really go through here. Sometimes you've got to be careful. Sometimes some of the stairwells they're a bit dilapidated. You can accidentally sort of fall off them. Like I've fallen off this one, so I've got to rest to get my heart rate slowed down. Now, obviously, I mean, this is probably best played on the Spectrum or the Amiga. You know, something with a faster processor for sure. And the Amiga version does have the quite a decent version of this tune actually. I think this is the only way out of this room. This is that's quite a tricky platform you've got to navigate. I mean, obviously it is slow, but I think for this game it's not too bad, because you know, it's not one of these games you'd be running around. You know, it's not like Doom. You know, if you're doing this in real life, you'd be walking, and it's just about at walking speed, I think. No, I'm only showing a quick. I think this is fast enough refresh rate, to be honest. Okay, there's nothing in that room, but you know, it's. I like the colours in the 64 version. They're quite sort of. They're quite drab, but realistically coloured, I think. Yeah, there's that stairwell that I fell off earlier on. You can see quite a lot on this screen that's a bit slow to render. There's a wall on the screen, I think there's a way to remove it, but I think it's a puzzle. Right, so there's not really too much I can show. I've shown pretty much what the game has to offer. There's a bit of shooting, a bit of puzzle solving. It's mostly mapping and exploration, I think. It's quite a satisfying game from that point of view, I think. I mean, I had this back in the day, but really, I think I might have completed it once, but it was just the once. I think it's quite a tough game actually, and it's a lot harder than Darkside. I managed to complete Darkside. I mean, I could complete that quite on a regular basis, but well, this is this room that we were at a minute ago when we were on the floor level. You have to negotiate this platform, which I'm not going to do because it's going to be quite tough. I don't want to embarrass myself. Right, so that's Darkside, Total Eclipse for you. Egyptian themed, pyramid themed Freescape game. Arguably, you know, it's best played on another computer, I think. But the 64 version, you know, it was as good as it could be for the time, I think. It's not as fast as Mercenary or you know, some other sort of wireframe games, but you know, there's not really that many solid 3D games on the 64, so you know, biggest can't be choosers, you know. So I can comfortably say that this is one of the best solid 3D games on the 64. There's no doubt about that. On the basis that I could probably count them on my fingers. Now after, I think there was a sort of pseudo sequel to this called Sphinx Jinx, Total Eclipse 2. I think at a limited release, I think you have to be a member of the Computer Club, which was a mail order games catalogue at the time. But I think you could get it via that. I think this is the other side of that wall I was stuck on a minute ago. Yeah, I think you could get it via that, but basically it wasn't a full commercial released sequel. You know, you couldn't buy it in shops. You could also, I think the next proper full Freescape game was Castle Master, which is again, you know, it's based on medieval, around the medieval castle, and that's quite good as well. You know, I think I might have completed that in the Spectrum. I think I haven't played the 64 version very much, but all these Freescape games are pretty much they all run at the same speed. So I've not got an ank, I can't get through that door. They all play pretty much at the same speed, so you know, if it's too slow for you, then you're not going to enjoy them. And anybody who's never played them before, the 3D's going to seem too slow nowadays, I think. But back then, I think it was all right. It was bearable. And the games are quite satisfying to play. They're otherwise quite satisfying, I think. So in terms of solving the puzzles and mapping the rooms, so it's not like there wasn't any enjoyment to be gained from the game. There's a few mummies to shoot, but there's not. Well, that's that bloody room again. There's a few mummies to shoot, but there's not. It's not high-speed arcade action, so. Right, well, I think I'll end this video here. What we're going to give this Total Eclipse? Difficult. Obviously, compared to today's game, it's not going to get a very favourable review, since it's so slow. I think maybe I have to show you a mummy we can shoot here. Yeah, I've got, you know, it's of its time, and you know, I think I would give it a higher rating back in the day, but as a game that I'm playing today, you know, come to it, it is slow. So there's a mummy. I think we have to shoot him. There we go. Closing that over. Yeah, I think I'll give this. It's difficult. I'll give it 7 out of 10. I think it's one of the best Freescape games, and okay, it's slow, but back in the day I would have given us more. And it's tempting to give it less now because it's so slow. But you know, you've got to remember when it came out and what it's running on. So yeah, I think 7 out of 10 is not. It's a fair score. I mean, it's saying basically that is a good game, and I think it is a good game. There's definitely some rewarding gameplay in this. I think it's just it's whether you want to persevere with the 3D graphics that as slow as they are. Right, that's all for this video.